Is the Sony A7S III still a good buy in 2025? I have now had this camera for 2 years, and I gotta say it's one of the best purchases that I have ever made. But that's with a little bit of a caveat. First of all, what is your goal? What do you want from your camera? Now, if you're looking to take photos and stills, you could probably get a better budget camera out there that'll do a little bit better job than this. But if your goal is to get a camera where you're going to be doing video content, it's still hard to think that there's a better priced, better bang for your buck than the Sony A7S III. I use this for video. I am very lucky to be able to record and make content for a living. I do mostly bartending and cocktail content. It's actually for myself. So I needed the Sony for a couple things. One, the slow motion. And what's really cool is the Sony A7S III can do 120 FPS in their crazy 10-bit 4K codec. It is absolutely a beast, and I'm telling you that being able to have that footage and making my workflow that much easier has been one of the best things I've ever done for investing into my business. And let's talk about all the other additional parts on here. And I'm not going to go deep into the features of the camera. You guys can check that out in the description here. But there's a couple things I wanted to point out. First of all, I only use SD discs in here. I don't even need to buy the super expensive Sony memory discs. I can actually just use an SD and it works just fine. And you can use a V60, a V90, and use pretty much every feature, including the 120 FPS on here, which is really, really cool. And it does have that dual SD drive. So, you know, if it ever fails, if you're doing weddings or something, you have that backup that it'll record to as well, which is really cool. Now, on the other side, what I love is I like to mic up my cameras directly. So I have the Rode wireless going here with my current setup, which plugs right into the camera. And just below it, there's even an additional spot for you to plug in your headphones so you can actually listen to your audio and make sure that you're not clipping, you have good audio. That is a huge, massive feature that I absolutely love and use all the time. Now below it, here we have some USB inputs and outputs here, and specifically right here we have a USB-C. And what I absolutely love about this right here is you can take your camera and use a PD charger, run your USB-C cable from your PD charger to your camera, and it'll charge your camera as you're filming. So you can actually go all day and not even have to change your battery as long as you can stay close to an outlet, which I love, and I use that honestly every single day. Now, there's another plug-in here. This is going to be for the HDMI output. I love this because I can take my camera, literally plug it directly into a monitor, directly into my laptop, and now I have a giant monitor with all of my footage on there. Especially since I'm doing slow motion, I like to do manual focus a lot, so it's good to be able to have those larger monitors. And speaking of sort of screen, one thing I do love about the Sony A7S III is it does have the flip screen, right? So if you're trying to record yourself and you're looking back, if you're a vlogger or you just any type of recording, it is so handy to have a screen that can literally flip in any direction you want. This is super, super cool, super, super handy to have, and I use it all the time. I mean, this screen, I cannot go without having the screen anymore. This was a total winner for me. So, as far as, is this worth the buy in 2025? One thing I didn't even mention, guys, especially I've used a Sigma lens, and now I literally just upgraded to G Master lenses. But even with the Sigma lens, nothing has auto-focused better for me than this camera. I literally think this camera was worth it just for the autofocus. It has made my workflow, my life 1,000 times easier for that. But now that I have the Sony lens on it, it's even better. It's really, really cool. So depending what your focus is, if you're doing mostly just photos, you can probably get a better option out there. But if you're just doing videos, still in 2025, I still think Sony is the best bang for your buck. Awesome, awesome camera.